Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back. I am Eva and this here is the Deaux. Welcome to my tribe.
We were sure, and I was stepping blind, just to think I'd find someone new, one who loved me better than you. Well, it made it home as a surprise. Loneliness has opened my eyes. I tried every love I could find. Still I can't get you out of my mind. 'Cause there's no one in the world to love. No one in the world's gonna move me. No one in the world can love me like you do, baby. Every time.
Oh my goodness, I thought I pressed play. Record. Okay, so we went through mermaids and sirens. We did underground cities. We've done New Orleans as a portal. We've done vampires. What else did we do? Other deities. So now we are doing snake babies. So I'm from Baton Rouge, and I grew up around people that did root work and things of the such. And I've heard from many different people, many different stories about how they pass snakes. And I've never seen it, so I can't say if what they were saying is true or not, but it came from them, and so that happened to them. So I've always thought that, people can pass snakes if they have a hex on them, or a curse on them, or somebody put a root on them, something like that. And then I watched Eve's Bayou, and I seen that, and I'm like, wait, is this true? So here is another creator of a TikTok. She's going to tell you about some things that happen in Ghana and snake babies. Here we go, y'all. Use discernment. I'm not going to say this is true or if it's false or any of that. Use your discernment. Definitely. Here we go, y'all.
The spooky story, and this one is yet another submission from Ghana. Apparently, snake babies are also common in Ghana. Spooky story time. You might not want to watch this one at night. Not that y'all listen to me anyway. So this story is from Ghana in Ashanti region. We're gonna call the person who submitted the story Jada. So Jada was living in a rented room at the time, and the landlord had 3 wives. So Jada describes the first and second wives as being very jovial and friendly. But the third wife, she was always moody. She always came off angry, like the girl had no friends. And the third wife, the angry one, girl, she gets pregnant with her 3rd baby, but this pregnancy took her more than a year to have that child. The baby took way over 9 months, and when she finally had the baby, it was a girl. So they described the baby to be a very, very beautiful girl with big eyes, and the baby was also pale, damn near white. So a year goes by, and baby's 1 now, and this 1-year-old toddler is still not able to walk, sit. The baby's neck is still not even able to hold the baby's head at 1 year old. So this baby is constantly laying down. Whenever people would come to visit, she would smile at them. And this child was full of smiles, as she would even smile while she's sleeping. And well, this is just weird. So one day the father decided to get some spiritual help. So to help his daughter, he got a herbalist. The herbalist winds up coming to the house, having some concoction and putting it on the baby's head, and still nothing. Herbalist did not work. Fast forward, it's like a whole year. So now the child is 2. The child still has no abilities. So now it gets to Ramadan. Now keep in mind, the father of the child is Muslim. The person says, then we got Ramadan, one of the big imam, again, don't know if that's a typo, and the father of the child is explaining to this man that the child is 2 years old and still cannot walk, still can't sit up, still can't hold his head up. And the imam was like, what do you mean the child is 2 and still isn't able to sit or walk? So then the imam asked to see this child. So the father went, got his daughter, and brought it back to the man. And when he brought him back the child, the imam looks at the father and asked him, why did you bring me a snake? The imam then told the father that that child is a snake and needs to get rid of it ASAP before it gets rid of the mother. And now the mother of the child is here listening to all of this, and she doesn't believe what the imam is saying, and she believes that he's a fraud, in fact. So the mother is over it, ready to get out of here. Mind you though, that child has never cried from the time she gave birth, and the mother herself has become so skinny and so pale by that point. Well, the baby got to about 2.5 years and they had to attend a wedding in the father's hometown. Well, there was a herbalist that also attended said wedding, and the minute the herbalist saw the child in the wedding, he was startled. He asked the mother holding the child, "Why are you holding such a big snake? What is wrong with you?" And everyone was shocked. The mother starts throwing insults at this herbalist, like, "You not finna come for my baby. Everybody been coming for my baby since she was born, like, enough." And this herbalist is crying, telling her, like, "You're lying. You know your baby is a snake. So why are you lying for your child?" The man then told the mother, "If you were wondering how one can possibly get a snake baby, this is the segment for you." The man told her, "You remember when you were pregnant and you visited your mom and there was a woman who came looking for your mother? It was hot outside. You were so angry. You told that woman not to disturb your peace. And when the woman asked you to give her a cup of water because it's hot outside, you told this woman that you were not her servant and that she should get out of the house. Find your way the fuck out. No water, no nothing. ASAP." And the guy is like, "Well, do you remember that?" And the mother was like, "Yeah, I do remember." And the guy told her, "Well, you need to find that woman. And within that woman holds all the answers to all your questions." I hate to do this to y'all, but I gotta do it to y'all at least once a week, man. Y'all gotta come back for part 2. This story's getting too long. But I will tell y'all a little spoiler. She did go visit the lady, but this lady was not your ordinary lady. Y'all, she wasn't even a witch. Just wait till you hear part 2. And if you want part 2, you better comment part 2 down below. Ghana and Nigeria, shout out to y'all because y'all got the spookiest stories out there. Thank you guys so much for watching. If this is your first time seeing my face or you haven't followed me yet, you better...
Any of my Guyanese or Nigerian people, no, that's not Ghana. Guyanese is a whole nother country. If you're from Ghana or from Nigeria and you've heard this story before, comment below.
Go ahead and follow me on this app. We are on the road to 150K. Oh my god. Make sure you're following me on YouTube for longer spooky stories. And we finally made it to 4,000 Instagram followers thanks to you guys. If you're watching this video, yes you, no, I see you, you're watching me right now on your bed. You have not followed me on Instagram, that's just crazy. And you're showing me that it's not real. So if it is real, swipe out this app and go follow me on Instagram, dog. Anyway, I love you, my Dutch humans, from your favorite Haitian homegirl.
Rebecca Journey. Outside the snake child after 15 years of marriage. True life African tales. Bringing you the truth tales of our land. The snake child.
In the far south of River State, there lived a couple named Didi and Anthony. They had been married for 10 long years but were still without a child. Didi's heart ached with longing to cradle her own baby, to hear the pitter-patter of little feet echoing through their home. Every day, Didi would pray to God, her voice rising like a gentle breeze, pleading for a child to fill their home with laughter and joy. But God remained silent. With each passing year, Didi didn't lose hope. Determined not to lose faith, Didi and Anthony visited many churches and places, hoping that someone, somewhere, would guide them to the child they so desperately desired. But the heavens remained silent. Didi's heart grew heavy with despair, yet she refused to surrender to the darkness that threatened to consume her. She clung to the hope that still burned within her, believing that one day, their prayers would be answered. As the years passed, Didi and Anthony's love for each other only grew stronger, but the emptiness of their home was heavily upon them. They watched with aching hearts as other couples celebrated the birth of their children, their laughter echoing like mocking whispers in the wind. Yet Ndidi refused to give up. With each sunrise, she would rise from her bed and gaze out across the horizon, her eyes searching for a sign of hope that would lead them to the child they so desperately sought. And though the days turned into weeks, and the weeks into months, and months turned into years, still she persevered, her spirit unbroken by the trials they faced. She kept going to places and places seeking for answers to her barrenness. After many years of longing and prayers, Ndidi finally gave birth to a beautiful baby girl named Safina. But unlike other children, Safina was different. After a few years plus, she couldn't move or crawl like other babies. She was an imbecile child. Despite Safina's condition, Ndidi loved her with all her heart. But something strange happened when Ndidi left Safina alone in the house to go to the market or anywhere else. When she returned, she would find Safina's mouth covered with the soup that she had prepared in the kitchen. It puzzled everyone in the house how she entered the kitchen. Mama Safina, determined to unravel the mystery, tried to understand how Safina, who couldn't move, managed to eat from the kitchen when she or no one was around. But no matter how hard she tried, she couldn't find an answer. As the days passed, the joy of having Safina in the house turned into worry and sadness. Mama Safina couldn't shake off the feeling of unease that lingered in her heart. She watched helplessly as Safina grew weaker and weaker, her condition worsening with each passing day. Despite Ndidi's love and care, Safina's health continued to deteriorate. One day, Safina died. Ndidi and Anthony were devastated. They mourned their beloved Safina and their hearts heavy with grief as they remembered how Safina suffered. But amidst their sorrow, there was hope. For even though Safina was no longer with them, Ndidi and Anthony refused to give up on their desire of having a child. They prayed to God once again, their voices echoing through the empty walls of their home, pleading for a miracle. After enduring 3 more years of another barrenness, Ndidi's heartache deepened. But then, to her shock and dismay, history repeated itself. Ndidi gave birth again, and once more, it was Safina. Exactly Safina. As if Safina had been reincarnated. But surely, it was Safina coming back the second time. The villagers whispered behind Mama Safina's back, questioning her actions and wondering what she may have done to deserve such a painful fate. Some believed it was a curse, while others speculated that Mama Safina had angered the spirits in some way or went to places she shouldn't have gone. But it was a mystery to uncover. One night, as she was deep asleep, she saw Safina in her dream. But it wasn't Safina. It was Safina's face in a big snake form. She was terrified in her dream as she screamed Jesus. But a voice came to her, saying, "Behold your daughter whom you have given birth to." This is the true form of Safina, and this is how she enters the kitchen and feeds herself when no one was around her. Woman, your lack of patience have brought this upon you. Mama Safina's heart ached with sorrow as she cared for her second Safina again, watching her suffer just as the first had. The weight of her burden seemed unbearable, but Mama Safina endured, finding strength in her prayer. As time passed, Mama Safina learned to live with her pain and sorrow, but she could not shake the feeling that there was more to her suffering. She confided in her neighbors, sharing her suspicions that her visits to certain places may have been the cause of her anguish, but she never told them the true being of Safina. Determined to find answers, the villagers rallied around Mama Safina, offering their support and prayers as they sought a solution to her problem. They consulted the most powerful spiritual leaders, searching for a way to break the curse that had befallen Didi and her family. Finally, after much deliberation, it was decided that Didi would undergo a series of powerful prayers, in the hopes of cleansing her and driving away the darkness that had taken root within her. After the prayer, Didi felt a sudden surge of warmth wash over her, filling her with a sense of peace and serenity that she had not felt in years. When Didi opened her eyes, she knew that she had been delivered from her pain. The darkness that had haunted her for so long had been banished, replaced by a new sense of hope and renewal. The villagers rejoiced as Didi held her second Safina in her arms in tears. She knew that their journey was far from over, but she also knew that they would face whatever challenges lay ahead together, bound by love and strengthened by faith. Didi's heart was heavy with regret for seeking help from other places instead of trusting in God. She prayed for forgiveness with all her heart, and finally, God heard her prayers. 3 months later, Safina passed away once again, relieving Didi of the painful burden of giving birth to the same child twice. Didi found peace knowing that her beloved Safina was now in a better place. With a heart full of gratitude, Didi continued to pray to God, asking for His forgiveness and guidance. And in His infinite mercy, God blessed Didi and Anthony with a beautiful baby girl whom they named Miracle. It was a true blessing from God, a symbol of His forgiveness and love. As Miracle grew, so did Didi's faith and happiness. And 7 years later, Mama Miracle gave birth to 4 more children, 3 girls and a boy. Their home was filled with laughter and joy, a testament to the patience and forgiveness that God had shown them. And so, dear reader, the story of Mama Safina and her family teaches us an important lesson. No matter how dark our days may seem, we must always trust in God's plan and have faith that He will guide us through our trials. Patience, forgiveness, and unwavering faith are the keys to finding true happiness and blessings in our lives. This is a true life story. Did you enjoy it? Please like, share, and subscribe for more true life African tales. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, believe it. Thanks for watching.
That night was the longest night in Mommy Beatrice's life. Mommy Beatrice then gathered the entire community the next morning, told them what happened in her house, was then advised to go to the head of the community to tell him what happened. And after she did, when Beatrice arrived back home too, she told Beatrice what happened the previous night. That evening, the head of the community visited Mommy Beatrice and took her to a traditional man who checked everything and said it was because Beatrice was walking about at night that a bad spirit entered her. At first, it was actually a baby, but the spirit had access into her because a baby was actually in her. So it wasn't like initially the baby was possessed. The baby was just a normal baby growing in his mom's womb. But when Beatrice encountered this spirit at night, the spirit entered her baby and took entire control of her baby's body. Beatrice's mom was cleansed and advised never to have anything to do with that baby, even at night. So when Mommy Beatrice got back home that evening, she handed over the child's clothes and everything that belongs to the child. Remember, Beatrice never sleep at home. She told Beatrice in her words, whatever you want to do with the pikin, do am. Now you get the pikin. The traditional ruler and the head of the community told Mommy Beatrice not to tell anyone that the next day they were planning on carrying baby and taking baby to that river that the mom normally crosses, drops the baby there at 2 a.m., turn their back and pretend to be walking away. If they turn and they no longer see baby, which means baby is from the marine. That a similar incident happened to one lady that was always walking at night, and when they did the same thing, they took baby there, dropped baby, they turned their back, they told the mother not to turn her back to see whatever would transpire. There were celebrations in that river when they turned their back. The mother in question have to be strong to make sure that she doesn't turn her back, because if she does, she's definitely going to live this life the next day. 2 minutes later, they turned their back, baby was no longer there. So that was the same thing they actually wanted doing to see if actually this baby was a spirit or just a normal baby. But it was as if baby knew that he was seen. So throughout that night, baby ran temperature till morning, and sadly in the morning, baby passed away. Baby was buried, but this particular baby, because of what the traditional man said about this baby, baby was taken to where people were not living. Beatrice was further cleansed to not have anything to do with that kind of baby again. If not, baby might come back. Beatrice's mom was cleansed also to not have anything to do with that kind of grandchild again, because she was literally the one taking care of this child. She was his caregiver, so he might love her and will want to return. Thank you all for staying tuned. If you want me to tell your story, DM me your stories on this page here. See you next time.
So this says, I gave birth to a snake baby part 2 on YouTube. Just search KG Mutal. No, is it Toto Wa Mongo TV on YouTube. I gave birth to a snake baby after my village, which bewitched my pregnancy.
Uli manifest usiku saa 3 nimetoka dieta. Sasa kuna uchungu, si ati uchungu gradual, kuna uchungu ilikuja.
Only because I don't understand what they're saying, and this is a spooky thing, we're gonna skip this. Hold on. So we're gonna hit our next topic. See you in my next video, my nigga. I hope you enjoyed the content that I just provided to you. If you enjoyed my content, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, because I need that for the algorithm. And like, share, and subscribe to the creators of the content. They also need it. Also, their information will be in the description part of this video. Y'all be easy and stay dangerous, my nigga.